Is Insomniac Games planning to make Miles Morales their Gameverse Spider-Man? That's a question that many people online are speculating about, but before I dive into it, hi, my name is Jacob. I am the host here at Studio Jake, where I talk about all things pop culture. And today we have sort of an interesting tidbit that was kind of floating around on the weekend. So basically, the narrative directors of the PS5 Spider-Man 2 game were asked about Miles Morales' progression in the story and whether or not Peter Parker was passing the torch. And now there's a lot of misleading headlines. For instance, IGN had reported on the interview with Gizmodo, and they put this big swath of is Miles Morales the main Spider-Man going forward, and this is something that Miles Morales stands have been pushing for a while now. For some reason, they want Peter Parker to be gone, and they want Miles to be the main Spider-Man. And really, Marvel just needs to give up on making Miles Spider-Man. They need to give him his own identity, his own superhero code name, and they need to stop trying to make him Spider-Man. It failed in the Ultimate Universe, and as much as the Ultimate Spider-Man animated series and even the first Spider-Man PS4 game made him a more likable character, and of course we can talk about Into the Spider-Verse. Those three things made him endearing. It made us as Spider-Man fans more accepting of Miles because Ultimate Spider-Man was the comic book with Miles Morales was really poorly written, and then also when they brought him into the main Marvel universe, they poorly wrote him there. He just needs his own identity. Animated series have figured this out. They've given him names like Spin, which isn't a very good one, and Kid Arachnid, and really he needs his own identity like that if they're going to do it. And so with that, with the whole PS4 Spider-Man debate, he had his own game. He had his own spin-off game, which I played. I thought it was good. I thought how they ruined the Tinkerer was pretty terrible, but the game overall was a good game. With Spider-Man 2 on the PS5, I've not played it yet. I do plan on playing it, but I haven't yet. So I won't speak to that, and I'll try not to give too many spoilers to it. But basically, these guys were asked in this interview with Gizmodo. The person asked, you said earlier you basically knew right away that you wanted playable Venom. Does that also apply to ending this game with Miles as the main Spider-Man from now on? And so one of the narrative directors replied, it always felt very natural, and I think we all collectively thought it would happen. To me, it shows a great deal of evolution from Miles. At the beginning of the game, we see him struggling to figure out what he wants to do with his life. By the end, we had Miles carrying the burden of saving the city and also carrying Pete when Pete wasn't strong enough to carry himself at various points. That's what's been so cool about writing a story about two Spider-Men. They're both strong, and one of them can be strong when the other is not. By the end, Miles is more confident. He's like, yeah, I got this. How much worse can things get after what we just went through? And to me, it more sounds like they're answering that they're going to do a Miles Morales video game sequel, and the ending of Spider-Man 2 seems to imply that maybe Peter needs a break after battling Venom. And if that's the case, I'm okay with that. Personally, I think they should split the games. I think Miles Morales should have his own video games. I think Peter Parker should have his own, and maybe they appear in side missions. So they could do that by having Miles travel to a different city or even a different country, and then have Peter Parker be the main one. Now, there's a lot of speculation because of headlines like this. This is the headline that IGN posted. Marvel Spider-Man 2 dev says Miles Morales is the main Spider-Man from now on. Not true. That's not what he said. That's a lie. And they're just doing this for clicks. He basically said, yes, we're going to have a video game with Miles as the main one like we did previously. And personally, I think Sony and Insomniac Games would be very foolish if they did that. Peter Parker is still the top Spider-Man. I mean, in the Spider-Verse films, it was fun for the first one, but let's be real, Across the Spider-Verse overdid it and for way too long of a movie. But and I'll have a full review of Across the Spider-Verse very soon. But I just think that they need to focus on Peter. They need to focus on good video games, and they need to stop allowing writers to do self inserts of characters like they did with Mary Jane. This first Spider-Man video game was a blast to play, and I know that this is an unpopular opinion. I kind of like Mary Jane's little side quest, although I would have preferred to play as Spider-Man the whole game. I still thought her story arc was interesting, even though this whole idea that reporters are these intrepid people after the truth, even though I think that's, a load of baloney. I really hope moving forward that when it comes to Spider-Man 3, for one thing, I hope it doesn't take as long as Spider-Man 2 did. And like I said, I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet. I do plan it. Spider-Man PS4 was my favorite video game, and especially the last edition that came out for the PS5. That was a fantastic video game, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the storyline when I actually play the game. So no spoilers for me for Spider-Man PS2, but I think that if the rumor is true, and again, I think that IGN and other outlets are misrepresenting what the developers said. They're basically saying we are going to do a Miles Morales solo video game like we did previously, but not that Peter Parker is just done. I don't see that at all in this statement. I think he was just being kind of coy, and so everyone in the media do what they do best, what we call the access media, the corporate press. They just ran with a bunch of clickbait titles, and that we all need to take a breath and calm down. I do want to see this happen. If the rumor is true and they are going to replace Peter Parker permanently with Miles Morales, I think that would be a big mistake. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, that you'll leave me a comment, tell me what you think, that you'll share it out with your friends, and of course, consider subscribing to Studio Jake. I cover all kinds of nerd and pop culture topics, including film, television, anime, comic books, and so much more. I hope that you'll also head over to my main website, studiojakemedia.com, where I have even more news, views, and commentary. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to my locals page. That's studiojakemedia.locals.com. It's the best way to support me. I'm trying to build a little community there. I have exclusive reviews and articles, so definitely head over there and check it out. And I'll see you next time, right here on Studio Jake.